So, say for example, we have a client or a potential client who is coming to us because they have social anxiety. They have a social phobia of some kind of fear of speaking in meetings at work. And very often they arrive in the therapy, in the clinical environment, believing that A equals C. Okay, so what I mean by that is that very often they think that the symptoms that they experience are as a result of the antecedents. So by antecedents we mean, what precursors it. So that person believes that going into the meeting, the antecedent to the problem, creates the consequences. The consequences are the palms being sweaty, the heart is racing, having catastrophizing thoughts, everybody's going to think I'm stupid or whatever it may be. So a lot of people have started to conceptualize their problem in terms of A equals C. I think I've got a slide here. As the wise sage Jack Sparrow once said, the problem is not the problem is your attitude about the problem. And this is really pertinent to us. I'm just going to skip back. So the antecedents equals C is what a lot of people arrive in the therapy room believing. Going into the meeting at work creates the sweaty palms, the heart racing, the butterflies in the stomach. And so a central premise of cognitive therapy in particular, but cognitive approaches to hypnotherapy that we will learn a great deal about throughout this course, is that actually this is mistaken. This is a mistaken. Actually, it's more realistic and more correct for us to say that the antecedents multiplied by our beliefs about them create the consequences. So, because lots of people go into meetings and don't have the same consequences. Lots of people experience the same scenarios but don't have that response. So this up here was not a universal truth. Instead, that person's beliefs and cognitions about the antecedents is what has created the consequence. Now, this is what we call socializing someone to a particular model. So, if we're going to do a cognitive process, for example, and we're seeking to introduce that person to how much their thoughts are contributing to the problem, how much their fundamental beliefs are contributing to the problem, we could just talk them through this simple ABC type of model to show them the way in which their beliefs and thoughts are contributing to the problem. That is, the induction, the therapist, the hypnotist creates the hypnosis, creates the consequence of hypnosis. Now, a lot of people arrive in a hypnotherapist's office believing A equals C. A stands for antecedent, the thing that goes on before. They believe that I'm going to do that, and they're going to be hypnotized somehow because I wield some unworldly skill and ability that creates the consequence of hypnosis happening. Now, I wish this were true, but unfortunately it's not. So we say the induction process multiplied by that person's beliefs and expectations about hypnosis is what creates the consequence of hypnosis happening. So it's not just a mechanical me doing something to that person which causes the outcome. Instead, it's the preceding beliefs and understanding and perception and expectation of that person in combination with the induction process that we engage in that creates the hypnosis. Does that make sense?